Exactly 40 years ago tomorrow, on April 3, 1979, the Barangay Ginebra franchise, then an expansion team that carried the colors of Gilbey's Gin, made its PBA debut in the All-Filipino First Conference. But unlike the most popular and multi-titled PBA team, that it is now 11 championships to be exact, fifth most among all franchises in league history and fourth most among the active ones, and inclusive of 3 of the last 7 conference championships. The then Gins, as their original moniker was then, had a forgettable start in their maiden conference in the PBA. Not only did Gilbey's Gin lose its first game on that historic April 3 date 4 decades ago, 103-98, to Royal Tru-Orange, now San Miguel Beer, the Gins actually had a 0-9 start in the league, losing by an average margin of 19.3 points. That 5-point loss to the Orangemen was actually Gilbey's Gin's fewest losing margin in its first 9 games. While a superstar player ang Gilbey's team na yan noon, lalo na kung ikukumpara mo sa Crispa at Toyota, revealed the Ginebra franchise's first ever head coach, Filomeno Pilo Pumran. The Gins' top players then were Willie Tandayan, a transferee from Crispa, Norby Rivera, a transferee from Royal Tru-Orange, and Luke Dacula, another transferee from Honda Mariwasa. However, they got an underrated rookie big man from the collegiate ranks in Eusebio Bing del Rosario. Pumran, father of former PBA players Franz and Dindo and former champion coach Derek, explained how tough it was to get good players for Gilbey's Gin back in those pre-draft days when it joined the league under the banner of Latondina Incorporated. Dati kasi halos lahat ng PBA teams noon, mga farm teams sa Mikit, said Pumran, referring to the now-defunct Manila Industrial and Commercial Athletic Association, the top basketball league in the country before the PBA was born in 1975 and which eventually played its last season in 1981. So ang ganakuhin na lang naman talagang players noon ay yung hindi na kalangan ng ibang team sa kinapilitan na talaga akong maganap noon sa mga nasa college. Kasam nga matatanda ang makuha ko, ay di bata na lang kinuha ko noon at develop, Coach Pilo continued. Since the PBA rookie draft didn't begin until 6 years later in 1985, recruiting players for PBA teams then was really a tough, cutthroat competition where oftentimes the best players ended up with the highest bidders. But the Gins got a bit of luck with Del Rosario, a rookie which Pumran plucked out of the University of the East, where he spent many years as assistant coach to the late coaching legend Baby Dalupan. Del Rosario averaged a third conference best 13.1 rebounds in the All-Filipino Conference, ranking up there with the likes of Ramon Fernandez and Manny Painter. Aside from Tandayan, Rivera, Dacula, and Del Rosario, the Ginebra franchise's pioneers were Jesucito Chito Martin, Ulysses Uli Rodriguez, Rickifert Rick Martin, Roel Dels, Bienvenido de la Cruz, Armando Torres, another transferee from Crispa, Porfirio Pong Rodriguez, Javier Garcia and Ernesto Ernie de Leon, who went on to become a top referee in the PBA. Aside from Del Rosario, Martin, Malari, de la Cruz, Rodriguez, and Garcia were all rookies back then. Largely because of inexperience and still lacking in chemistry, it would take more than a month and a half before Gilbey's Gin notched a first win, a 123-116 decision over Honda. The Gins finished their maiden conference in the PBA in 9th and last place with a 115 record. Pumran had a 2-year contract then as head coach but resigned after 4 conferences, or after the 1980 Open Conference, to become head coach of De La Salle in the NCAA. The Ginebra franchise's rise to prominence would not begin until 1984, or 4 years after Pumran left the team, when Robert Sonny Jaworski joined the ball club following the disbandment of Toyota. But little do people know that it was Pumran who had a hand in Jaworski's joining the University of the East, where his star shone and grew under him and Dalupan, resulting in 2 championships with the Red Warriors in 1965 and 1966. Jaworski actually began playing in the streets and basketball courts of Pandacan, Manila, where the Pumrans also used to reside. Unikong nakita Yanakala Kobata Pa Young Pala High School graduate not at Naja Residency Safu. Sabi ng Kumper Kong Pulis Bakit Dodai Ko na Langkunan Sayui, said Pumran. That was exactly what he did and Jaworski agreed. Siya ang na unahang player NGUE na binigyan naman ng quarters, narrated Pumran. Pero sa gara lang noon yun ng na nilagyan lang naman ng double deck. Pero free board and lodging saya noon at sa canteen kumakain. Jaworski became very close to the Pumerans that he sometimes offered to fetch Dindo and Franz from school when the latter were still in elementary school. Close sa minyan si Sunny. Tingnan mo nung nasa PBA na sina Franz at Dindo, hindi naman niya tinitira ang mga anak ko na yan, the elder Pumeran beamed with pride. Kahit si Rudy Distrito, ako din nag-recruit niyan sa UE at mabit din sa mga anak ko sa PBA yan, said Pumeran, now 84 years old. It's something Dindo Pumeran, also now a retired PBA player, remembers very well of Jaworski, a physical player during his time. Bungyuan lang na normal naman sa basketball pero yung pisikalan talaga, wala, Dindo says of the Big J. Mabit sa akin si Coach Sonny. Respeto malamanki papa. Kaya suert ko din. The two Pumerans are expected to be on hand on Wednesday night when Barangay Ginebra, under the San Miguel umbrella since 1987, faces Northport in the very final game day of the 2019 Philippine Cup elimination round, exactly 40 years to the day the franchise played its very first game in the PBA. So how does the elder Pumeran feel about holding the distinction of being the first ever head coach of the most popular team in the PBA today? His quick reply, wala naman makakalamyata niyan eh. O kung meron man, kakonti lang. Well, maybe after today, not anymore.